tell, then you see the road. I'm out to my soul into the sides whenever the smoke clear out of my face and my picture perfect. Do it. All of that green together, the truth, yeah. Tell you the
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to Cypherfics. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the third part of, What If Dannyphantom Enters Luigi's Mansion? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of Phantom Fan 21 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Boopup leads the teens to a mansion that Danny knew who it belongs to. Vlad should have known. He growls. What does Vlad want with Bowsette? Tucker asked. Knowing Vlad? Probably some plan to rule the ghost zone, kill my dad, and marry my mom. Danny said. And what does he need Bowsette for? Sam asked. Danny wasn't sure, but there was probably something in the ghost zone that Vlad wanted and didn't bother to think things through. Still, Bowsette was inside and he had to act fast. Okay, I can tell Vlad is waiting for me. So I'll go in and distract him. You guys find Bowsette and get her out of there. Danny said. Isn't the hero supposed to recuse the girl? Tucker asked. This isn't a video game, Tucker, Sam said. Or a comic book, Danny added. I'm just saying, it would feel better to Bowsette if her hero saves her. Tucker brought up. Danny and Sam sigh. They all face the Vlad's mansion and Danny hands Sam the Fenton Fisher finder. Here, Boopup will lead you guys to where Vlad is keeping Bowsette. Just be aware of any trick and traps he has. He's Fruit Loop, but he not stupid. Danny said. Okay, just be careful, Danny, Sam said. It's Vlad that needs to be careful. Once I kick his ass and ruin his plans, I'm taking Bowsette on another date. She told me that she'd been practicing her cooking and I would like to taste it. Danny said before flying towards the mansion. Sam and Tucker watch as Danny flew off before Sam sighs. Sam? Tucker asked. I'm fine. It's just going to really hard to let go. She said. Tucker nodded and Boopup started to lead them towards the mansion. Danny flew inside the mansion and landed in the library. It reminds him of the first time he met and fought Vlad. A.H. Daniel, welcome. Speak of the devil and he shall appear, Danny said and face him. You're earlier than I thought you would be, Vlad said. Where is she? Danny asked. She fine, for now, Vlad smirks. Danny growls but took a breath. He couldn't let himself get angry. He needs to keep Vlad busy so Sam and Tucker could recuse Bowsette. Look, Vlad, I don't have time to deal with this. Just tell me where she is and I'll forget the whole thing. Danny said. Please, Daniel, like your friends can recuse her, Vlad said. Yeah, had a feeling you would see through my plan. Doesn't matter. I will stop whatever plan you have. Danny said and stood ready. Like you have any idea what I have planned, Vlad said. Find some power to rule the ghost zone and Earth, remove my dad from the face of the planet, and marry my mom who never likes you, Danny said knowing how he works. Vlad blinks at that. He hates to admit it, but Danny can read him really well now. Still, Vlad was going to get what he wants and he was going to let Daniel stop him. So you say. Well then, I got time in between my schedule to teach you a thing or two. Vlad said. Hurry guys. Don't know if I can keep him distracted for long. Danny thought. Tucker, Sam, and Boopup enter the mansion and Sam gave Boopup a scratch behind his ear. Boopup loved it so much his legs started hitting the floor. Sam. Quiet. Tucker said, making her stop. What? I'm just letting him know that he doing a good job. Sam said. Tucker rolls his eyes and Boopup started to sniff the ground again. He lets out a bark and started to lead them down the hall. It wasn't long before he stops at a huge portrait of Vlad. "Wow, ego much?" Tucker asked. Sam rolls her eyes and started to look around the portrait. She found a SWCH behind it and push it. The portrait moves away to show a secret passageway. "Okay, what is with villains and secret lairs?" Tucker asked as they peek into the passageway. "Vlad must be going for, it's so secret that it's evil," Sam said. Boopup barks and started to pull Sam into the passageway, with Tucker rushing to catch up. They reach a secret lab and saw Bowsette sitting in a cage as Boopup barks. "Huh?" she said and looks up. "Boopup?" she said as the ghost dog ran to her. "Boopup. Stay," she said, making the ghost dog stop and wail his tail. "Bowsette? Are you okay?" Tucker asked as both he and Sam walks up to her. "Tucker, Sam. What are you doing here?" Bowsette asked. "Recusing you. Danny's keeping Vlad busy," Tucker said and pull out his PDA. Bowsette was surprised but smiles. Tucker type away on his PDA as Sam sighs. "Hey, Bowsette," she said. "Yes," she said. "I'm sorry for the way I was acting towards you. I really couldn't stand that Danny was with someone else," Sam said. "Sam, you heard of the phrase, never judge a book by its cover, right? I might be a princess, but that doesn't mean I'm like most princesses. Dora told me how you help her stop her brother and declares you as her sister," Bowsette said. "You know Dora?" Sam asked. "Yes, I do. She one of the few princesses I know that the same as me," Bowsette said. Sam look away. She couldn't believe that Bowsette knows Dora. And Dora sees her as a sister. Sam smiles and nods. "Let's get you out of here. Danny can't wait for your next date," she said. "And got it," Tucker said as the cage door opened. Bowsette steps out and smiles, just before Boopup jumps on her. She caught the ghost dog and laughs as he licks her face. "Now, let's get out of here," Sam said. "Hold on a second. I'm downloading Vlad's new plan." "Geez, his password worse than Danny's," Tucker said. "And what is his password?" Sam asked. "Maddie Masters," Tucker answered and both of them shivered. "Isn't that Danny's mother?" Bowsette asked. "Yeah, he has a thing for her," Tucker said. "Geez, Danny told me that he had it bad for her, but I didn't think it was that bad." Bowsette sighs. "Well, Danny just to have a thing for Paulina and his password used to be Paulina Fenton," Tucker said. "I know, he has gotten over her," Bowsette said. "Anyways, it says here that he looking for something called the Dark Moon," Tucker said. Bowsette didn't say anything. It know that she doesn't trust them, she just barely knows anything about it because her father never told her. Tucker download the plans and turns to them. "Well, we got what we came for. Let's get out of here before Vlad finds out," Tucker said. The girls nodded and they headed out of the lab. Danny blocks Vlad ectoblast with his shield before returning one of his own. Vlad dodges and flew up to Danny and grabs him by the neck. "What's the matter, Daniel? You usually put more into this fight," Vlad said. "Pardon me, lamb chomp." Vlad turns to see one of the holograms of Maddie appear. Danny rolls his eye at that. "Really? Lamb chomp?" Danny asked. "Oh, be quiet," Vlad said before turning to the holo Maddie. "It appears that our guest has escaped and is traveling with my son's friends," she said. "Really? You hopeless dude," Danny said, knowing this thing wasn't his real mother. I said quiet. "Where are they heading now?" Vlad asked. "The exit," she said. "Well then, can't let them get out now, can we?" Vlad smirks. A little correction. My son's friends are heading towards the exited. Hulumati said. What? Vlad asked. He got his answer when a white ecto-beam hit him and made him drop Danny. I was heading here to thank Danny for saving me. Bowsette shouted. Danny looks at her and smiles. He stood up and saw Vlad standing up and rub his head. Danny wasted no time in flying towards him and threw a punch that knocks him away. Bowsette then flew up and slaps him across the face, multiple times. When she stopped, Vlad's cheeks were shallow and red. She then grabs him and threw him towards Danny, who punches him right in the face. Vlad was sent flying back and crashed right into a few walls before stopping in his office chair and pass out, turning back to his human form as well. That will teach him to mess with the future rulers of the Ghost Zone, Bowsette said. Bowsette? Danny started to say. Sorry, got a little too excited. She said. Let's go, Danny said and grabs her hand. Bowsette blushed and nodded before the two flew out of the mansion. Helen sighs as she saw Danny and Bowsette deal with the second Helfa. She was a little worried that the eviler would hurt the princess, but the savior got to her in time. Glad she is safe. King Boo would be happy to hear that. Helen said. Helen was surprised that the eviler was looking for the legendary Dark Moon. She heard of it but never seen it. She also knows that only the members of the royal family knew about its location. Still, she has enough for now. She has been keeping the king in the dark long enough. It time to inform him about the half-marriage and the eviler taking his daughter and the savior saving her. Just one step closer. And then it doesn't matter if the princess marries him. Helen smirks. Everyone left Vlad's mansion and Danny and Bowsette were holding hands as Boopop barks and runs around them. Tucker and Sam stood back to give them room. Sam sighs, trying to keep her jealousy under control. Danny was happy, she needs to let him. Tucker smiles at his best friend, though he was a bit jealous that he got a princess for a girlfriend. Danny and Bowsette share a kiss and Bowsette pushes herself deeper before breaking it off. Ugh. Stupid hormones. She said, beating herself. Danny sighs knowing that she trying. Is it getting really bad? He asked her. That's the thing. When I'm close to you, I could feel them trying to make me act out. But when I'm away from you, I can fight them better. Bowsette said. Danny blinks at that, he knew staying away from her wasn't an option. She was trying her best and Danny understood that. Tell you what, after your second date, you can kiss me all you want. Maybe you should get some of it out. Maybe you'll better control afterward. Danny said. Everyone looks at him, wondering why he just gave Bowsette permission to act out her hormones on him after their second date. You sure that's a good idea? Tucker asked. You basically just told you she can do whatever she wants to you, Sam added. I know she wants to wait on some things and I trust her. If her hormones are getting worse, then she better get them out of her system. Danny said. Are you sure? Bowsette asked. Not really, but you've been fighting it and I think it's time for you to let some of it out, Danny said. Okay, I'll keep fighting until our second date, Bowsette said. Hey guys, do you want to go see a movie? Danny asked. Oh yeah. I heard Dead Teacher 3 is coming out. Tucker said. I heard this one is supposed to be better the second, Sam said. How about you, Bowsette? Danny asked. I have never been to the movies, Bowsette said. Well, then come with us. You'll have a good time. Danny said. Bowsette thought about it and nods. She then turns back to Boopop. Let's get him home first. She said. Everyone nodded as Boopop barks. After dropping Boopop back at her house and Bowsette become Bow once again, they headed into town and towards the movie theater. They got their tickets and headed inside to get their popcorn and drinks. Bow turns around and spotted some of the A-listers she knew from school. She notices one of them was Dash who froze when he saw her. Bao just smiles and waves, making Dash duck behind Quan. I can't believe you're scared of one little girl, Paulina said, rolling her eyes. I'm not scared. She just caught me by surprise is all. Dash denied. Paulina scoffs and walks away with Dash trying to tell her he wasn't scared. Star and Con just look at each other and shrugs before heading towards their movie. Bao giggles before Danny tap her shoulder. Here Bao, I got you some popcorn and a drink. He said. Thank you, Danny. Bao said and took them. Once everyone got their drinks and popcorn, they headed towards their movie and sat down. Bao sat next to Danny as Tucker was on the other side and Sam was at the end. The lights dim and the movie started to play. As the movie played, Bao got scared and grabs Danny's arm. Danny was surprised to learn that Bao was getting scared of the movie but pat her hand with a smile. It's okay Bao. Nothing going to happen to you. It's just a movie. Danny whispers to her. There's so much gore. I don't know if I can handle it. She whispers. I'm here. If those scenes become so much, just think of me. He whispers back. Bao nodded and turns to the movie. She kept her arms wrapped around Danny's as she tries to eat her popcorn and drink her drink. Danny smiles and watches the movie. In the ghost zone. So, the Halfa defeats the Eviler, and they both escape. Last I saw, they were heading to something called the movies, when you call for me. Helen said to King Boo. King Boo sighs, the Eviler wasn't someone that he trusts. He was glad that the Halfa live up to his reputation. And there's something else I learned, Helen spoke up. And that is? King Boo asked. She lied. She and Halfa never did the deed. Helen told him. What? King Boo asked. Heard it from their mouths. Meaning they are not truly married. Helen said smirking. I see. King Boo said. He couldn't believe that his daughter lied. Then again, she was the kind to not rush herself into things. He wanted to go after her and bring her home now, but the Halfa recused her and he knew that he couldn't with Halloween coming up. Continue to watch them. I can't deal with them now because of Halloween in a few weeks. King Boo told her. Right, Helen said. She was a bit upset that the king wasn't going after her now but understand that Halloween was the time for the Fright Night power to be at his peak. Most ghosts leave him alone on that day. Helen. I do have a gift for you for your hard work. King Boo said. Helen was surprised and put her makeup on her face and took a breath. She watches as King Boo moves his hand to the empty throne next to him. Please, sit. He said. Are you sure? I mean, that was your wife's. Helen asked. It was my wife's. But sooner or later, I need a new queen. So please have sit. I'm letting you have a taste of royalty. He said. Helen looks really nervous but walks up and looks at the throne chair. She turns to King Boo who nodded. She slowly sat down in it and sighs. She couldn't believe that she was sitting in the queen throne. Helen, if you continue bring me more news, then I'll reward you more. In fact, let me do something for you that I know you like. King Boo said. Helen remained still as his crown started to glow. Helen felt all her makeup fall off her face, but it still remains the same with it on. What? My face. She said feeling it. I'm only able to make it last for an hour before your face returns to normal. After all, it's a really pretty face. King Boo said smiling. Helen blushes at that and looks away. King Boo smirk evil before smiling again. Next time, I might even reward you more. Maybe have you sleep in a royal bed. He said. Helen's face turns red and looks at the ground. I, she shuddered. King Boo reaches over and lifts her head. I might be in the needs of a new queen soon. You have shown promise so far. Keep this up and I might have you rule by my side. He said. Helen was speechless. It felt like she was in a dream. King Boo let go of her face and turns away. Now, please continue to inform me of what they are doing. He said. Helen stood up and bowed, trying to get her red face to calm down. Once she exits the throne room, King Boo smirks evilly again. Foolishly woman. I can't wait for the day that your dreams will be nothing more than a dream. But who can say I can't have some fun? He laughs. Amity Park, after the movie. Wow. That was way scarier than the second movie. Tucker said. Tell me about it. And the way one of the students stood up knowing that he had no chance was a nice touch. Sam agrees. What do you think, Bao? Danny asked. Bao was shaking and trying to calm herself down. There was so much gore. She felt sick. Danny notices and rubs her shoulders. Easy, deep breaths, Danny told her. Wow, never thought I see the day that a ghost can't handle horror, Sam said. So much gore. I don't know if I can watch the fourth one. Bao said. Maybe next time, we'll pick something different, Danny said. Well dude, I got head home. My mom making her meatloaf tonight. Tucker said. And I got to deal with my parents for dinner again. Sam groans. Okay. Thanks, guys. Danny said. Tucker, Sam. Bao calls out making the two turn to her. I want to thank you for what you did earlier. Bao said and walks up to them. She kisses Tucker's cheek causing the poor boy to faint, making everyone laugh. She then hugs Sam. Sam flinches a bit but hugs her back. She lets go and stood next to Danny. Come on Bao, I'll take you home, Danny said. Bao nodded and turns back to Sam and was a bit worried for Tucker. Don't worry, I get him home. I'm sure his mom would understand why he misses her meatloaf. Sam said. I would never. Tucker shouted as he stood up. And there we go, Sam smirks. Danny and Bao laugh before heading out themselves. Once they were in the clear, they turned into their ghost forms and flew the rest of the way back to her house. Once there, Bowsette invited Danny inside and started to cook once more. Danny sat down and waited. Boopup ran up to him trying to get him to play. No ball this time. You don't want to go to the corner again, do you? Danny told the ghost dog. He reaches down and started to scratch Boopup, making him enjoy the feeling. Danny looked up and notices the stars were started to show. That's where he got an idea for their second date. Hey, Bowsette. Danny called. Yeah. She calls back. I got an idea for our second date. Let's have a night picnic. He said. A night picnic? She asked. Yeah, you have seen how some people have picnics at the park, right? A night picnic is the same thing only at night. Danny told her. Sure, when should we do it? She asked. Is tonight okay? The stars just came out. We can do some stargazing as well. Danny said. Bowsette had to admit that sounded romantic. She was up for it. Sure. Let me get some food ready. You better call your parents. Bowsette told him. Okay. Is your phone working? Danny said then asked. Yeah, got it connected yesterday before I left for school. Bowsette told him. Danny went over to the phone and called his parents. Bowsette looks at her cookbook and chomps some carrots before putting them in a pan. She couldn't wait for their second date. And for Danny to try out her food. She has been so used to having things done for her that she never knew how she could do things on her own. Cooking was a big step and she was going to make sure that she can more than a princess. She was going to be a great wife. After Danny called his parents and Bowsette finishes her cooking, she had to restart a few times because the food burned. They head outside. Danny places the picnic blanket down and helps Bowsette set the food up. They both ate and Danny couldn't believe how good it was for her first time. There were some that didn't taste as they should, but Bowsette was still learning. After eating, they both lay down and look at the stars. "That's Leo the lion, Equilius the little horse, and Draco the dragon," Danny said as he helps Bowsette find them. "Wow, I never knew that humans made the stars into the 12 zodiacs," Bowsette said. "Well, I hear there was supposed to be a 13th one called Ophiuchus the snake, but people thought it was bad luck to have the number 13 and shorten it to 12. But I did find it," Danny said. Bowsette smiles, she could tell how much Danny loves the stars. She then started to think about what it would be like for their kids to stay out here with them stargazing. She blushes as she remembers she hasn't told Danny about her dream. She didn't want to scare him off. "Hey, Bowsette," Danny said, breaking her from her thoughts. "Yeah," she answers. "Do you think that the town would understand that I might have to leave with you when you become queen?" he asked. "Danny, I have no intention of making you leave your home. I might have to go to the ghost zone to be crowned as queen, but I love spending time with you. I'll admit, I was just one of the many girls that had a crush on you. But you showed me who you really are. You don't have to be a king, I love you the way you are," Bowsette said. Danny turns to her and smiles. "Same here," he said. Bowsette could feel her hormones act up again and look at Danny. Danny could tell and remember what he said earlier. "Go ahead," he said. Bowsette stops fight them and threw herself on Danny, kissing him and pressing her body on him. Danny lets her and had to admit she felt really good. A shooting star passes over them as Danny and Bowsette kiss the night away. Bow opens her locker and grabs her books. It has been a few days since hers and Danny's second date. And even since he let her act out her hormones, though she made sure not to act out her biggest one as it was only their second date, she felt that she could control them better now. She closes her locker and turns to see Dash walking up to her. She rolls her eyes. Dash had somewhat got over her little scare and was trying to hit on her again. "Don't even ask," she said before he could open his mouth. "Come on. Give me a chance." Dash whined. "I chose Danny and no matter what you said or do, I'm not dumping him for you," she said. "I'm way better than Fenton," Dash said. "Please, you are not better than him. You're just a worthless fool that thinks everything will go your way. I don't like you and you annoy me," Bow said. She also notices that she being less and less shy around others. Maybe being with Danny help her get over her shyness. "I'm the high school quarterback," Dash shouted. "Is that supposed to mean something?" Bow asked him. Dash just stood there shocked. He didn't get it. "All girls for the jocks. I'm not like most girls. I chose Danny because I like him. Not everything is the way you think it is," Bow said. "Listen here. I'm the Casper High King. Everyone has their place. Fenton is on the lower food chain and therefore he doesn't get any pretty girl. You are higher than Fenton and should be going for the jocks," Dash shouted. Bow stops and growls. Dash sounds way too much like her father. She didn't like how he was acting. "You're no king," she said. "What?" Dash asked. "I said, you're no king," Bow shouted and faced him. "Casper High is not a castle. Your rules are not part of the school. Schools are to help you learn about the outside world. Once your 4 years are up, what's next? Do you think anyone going to care that you were a jock? Do you think that your money is going to help you after you move out? Once you leave your parents you have to start making your own money. I love Danny. And nothing will change that," Bow shouted. Dash looked surprised. He couldn't believe this girl was standing up to him. "There's one thing I hate about this school. Actually make that 2 things. 1, the A-listers. They think they are better than everyone. They think they are safe from any trouble just because their families pay for the school. They're not. Bao shouted, not caring if everyone was listening. And two, the teachers. I know some of them are good teachers, but they ignore bullies, making more and more students distrust them. It doesn't matter how many games you win. Letting bullying happening is a crime. The teacher could get fired from their jobs. And what could be worst, if you all keep this up, then you have death on your hands. Bao continues to shout. Dash took a step back, but Bao wasn't done. You want to know why I chose Danny over you? Easy, he treats me like a person. He not falling for me because of my looks, he saw who I was and helped me overcome my shyness. We already went on 2 dates. I love him and he loves me. So back off, Dash. She said. Everyone looks at the two as Bao took a breath and walk away from Dash. Before stopping and turning back around with the same face that scares him a few days ago. Dash screams and runs off, causing people to laugh again. Bao turns and heads towards her class. Bao's words echo all over the school. Many students call their parents and told them about the bullies and how the teachers were not stopping them. Many parents appear at the school and yell at the teacher for not doing their jobs. Even the superintendent couldn't stop the parents. With no choice, the teachers stopped favoring to A-listers. To think all it took was one word from a girl that was dating dannyphantom. Lunch rolled around and the four sat at their table. I can't believe how you changed the school so fast, Sam said. Well, I know no one knows who me and Danny are, but I can't stand how this school is. People need to know that things are not like they see them. Bao said. Danny nodded to that. So, Bao, what are you going to do for Halloween? Tucker asked. Halloween. She shouted. They all look at her in confusion. That the day that the Fright Night power is are at his peak. She told them. Right, I forgot he was the spirit of Halloween, Danny said. Listen, Bao, it doesn't really matter. If we are lucky, he just leaves us alone. Tucker said. Unless Danny takes the soul shredder again, Sam said. You what? Bao asked shock. Borrow. I was going to return it. I even told the Fright Night that I would. Danny said. All because so you can win the bet against Dash, Sam added. Bet? Bao asked. Right, you weren't here last year. This guy got in trouble with Dash and Mr. Lancer told them that the school chose a student to decorate an abandoned haunted house for a Halloween party every year and that he has chosen both Dash and Danny to help decorate. Whoever makes the scariest haunted house will avoid detention. Tucker said. And they made a bet between each other. If Danny wins, Dash has to dash around the school parking lot in his underwear. If Dash wins, Danny's stuck eating Dash's dirty, smelly, rotten underwear. Tucker added before shivering. I still can't decide that him having a pair or him carrying it around is scarier, Tucker said. Danny lost the bet, Sam said. Bao shook her head. She thought the idea of Dash running around in his underwear was funny, but eating his underwear? Then again, she really couldn't blame Danny. She knew Dash was bully and Danny wanted to win. Let's said I won't do that ever again, Danny said. Bao nodded before both her and Danny's ghost sense appear. Who ignoring my orders now? Bao asked. We better check it out, Danny said as both of them rushed to the bathrooms. Tucker and Sam just remained seated as the ghost appears in the lunchroom. Many students started to run, but Danny flew in and knocked it away. Bowsette flew up and fired her ecto-beam at it. The ghost dodges, but it was set up for Danny to pull out the Fenton thermos and caught it. Well, glad to have you around. Danny smiles. I'm glad to meet you. I wish to thank you for letting me stay here. Bowsette said. No need. Maybe we could enjoy our time together tonight? Danny asked. Sure. We already went on 2 dates. I don't mind a third one. Bowsette said. Many students look surprised to hear that. Paulina couldn't take it anymore and walks up to them. Ghost boy. Please tell me you're not choosing her over me. She asked. Paulina, I heard of you, Bowsette said. I wasn't talking to you. Paulina said. Well, I am. You are to leave me and my future husband alone. Bowsette told her. If anyone going to be his wife it's me. Paulina shouted. You don't know anything about him. I, on the other hand, spend time with him. I got to know him. Not to mention he saved me. But that's not why I fell in love with him. Bowsette said. And why would he love you when he already has someone like me? Paulina shouted. Girls enough. Danny shouted, making the two turn to him. Paulina, I save you because of what I do. For a time, yes I did like you. Danny said, making her beam. However, the way you act towards others shows me that you don't care about anything but yourself. I'm over you now. He added, making her shock. Bowsette had shown me that she was trying to know me first instead of claim to be in love with me. She also being treated like a prisoner in her castle and I let her stay here. She showed me that he thinks of others and tries to help them and let me be who I want to be. I might be her future husband, but she knows that we need to take it slow. Danny said, making Bowsette happy. If I had to choose between her and you, I'll pick Bowsette, Danny said. Paulina felt her heart break as Bowsette flew up and kissed his cheek. Without another word, they grabbed hands and flew off. Paulina just stood there, not believing what just happened. Night fell and everyone was getting ready for trick-or-treating. Sam actually dresses up as a cat, as Tucker against his will was dressed as a clown. What? You see yourself as a clown. Now you match what you said. Sam told him. Ha, ha. I forget to laugh. Tucker said dryly. They then turned and saw Danny and Bow watch up to them. Danny was actually dressed as a knight and Bow was a witch. Wow, Bow. Nice witch costume. The skulls are a nice touch. Sam said. Thanks. It was something I made a long time ago. She said, blushing but not covering her face. You made that? Sam and Tucker asked. Bow nodded before turning to her knight in shining armor. Which felt weird to think that to her. Well, I ready to enjoy my first Halloween with you. She said. Glad to hear that. But can someone help me get this helmet off? Danny said. Bow giggles and reach up and pull the helmet off his head. Thanks, that the last time I let my dad help me with my costume, Danny said. Wait, your dad helped you? So why didn't he? Tucker started to ask. My mom stopped him. Saying that he needs to understand this a costume, not a Fenton suit. Danny said. Soon they all head out. They stop at a few houses and Bowsette was having a good time. She learns lots of people love her witch costume. Tucker was having the worst night of his life. A few kids actually made him bend down and honk his red nose. He glares at Sam for making him dress up as a clown. They walk down the street holding bags of candy. I can't believe that people love your witch costume, Sam said. Well, it was something I saw in the store and added a few things. Plus you're a cat. We match. Bow said. Sam smiles at that. She was a black cat and witches have those. Bow then turns to Tucker and honk his nose. Will you cut that out? Tucker said annoyingly. Oh, what the matter? Did the little clownly lose his pie? Bow said before honking his nose again. This your fault, Tucker told Sam, who smiles. Bow then turns to see Danny looking in his bag for something. Come on. Where is it? He said. Danny? You're not trying to sneak in a few treats, are you? Bow asked. No, I'm just trying to find Jazz's favorite treat. I promise her I get her some. He said. And what treats are those? Bow asked. Gummy bears. She can deny all she wants, she loves them. I recall hearing how Jazz ate so much of them, Mom and Dad had to hide the rest and stop buying them until she cuts back. She went crazy for a week until she calms down. Danny said. Are you sure that's a good idea? Tucker asked. Don't worry, she is in more control of herself, Danny said before pulling out a small bag. Speaking of which, why didn't she join us? Bao asked. Jazz claims that a full-grown woman like herself is too old to go trick-or-treating, Danny said. Bao rolls her eyes. Then their ghost sense appears. Great, I was just having a good time too. Bao groans. Here guys, watch over our candy. Danny said as they hand their bags to Sam. Sure, and I'll keep Clownly here away from them, Sam said as Tucker glares at her. The two nodded and ran off. However, they both stop as the Fright Knight appears in front of them. So, Ghost Child. Here we are. I hope you are ready to be sent to the realm of your worst nightmares. He said. Look, I know you are the spirit of Halloween, but do you really need to come down and fight me? I was having a good time with my girlfriend here. Danny said. Bao blushed at that word but shook it off. So the rumors are true. You found a soul mate. Fright Knight looking at Bao. Though I don't know why. She looks familiar. He said. That would make sense. Not only am I in a costume, but I also make myself human. Bao said. Make yourself human? Fright Knight asked. Seeing that no one else was around, Bao turns back to her normal self and the Fright Knight was shocked. Princess. He shouted in Bao. I heard that you left the castle. He added. Rise, Fright Knight. She said. He did and Bowsette sighs. My father has been keeping me locked up in the castle. I left because I want to be the one that defeated the false king. I end up getting to know him and we are dating. She said. You mean, you chose the child as your mate? Fright Knight asked. Yes, but we are not going to marry yet. I wish to spend time with him first. Bowsette said. But that means, Fright Knight started to say. It's true that when we marry he'll being the new king of the ghost zone, but I have decided that he doesn't have to rule alongside me. He doesn't have to be a king. Fright Knight, I order you to cease all attacks on this town. I know of the time Danny took your weapon but he told me he was going to return it. You were always quick to demand things. Even if Danny had no idea who to use it you could have let him borrow it for a little while. Bowsette told him. Fright Knight looks away. It was Halloween and the child did tell him that he was going to return. But his pride had control of him once more. He turns to Danny and looks at him. Since the princess has chosen you to be her king I will listen to her orders. But know this, I will never bow to you and you are not my king. He said. That's fine with me, Danny said. For now, at your leave princess. Fright Knight and bow before flying off. This isn't going to last long, Danny said. Even so, as long as we are together, he can't really do anything to you. Bowsette smiles. So are we going to get back to trick-or-treating? Tucker asked. Might as well, Bowsette said as she turns back to her human form. You are so lucky, dude, Tucker asked as Sam handed back their bags. About what? Danny asked. You're dating a princess and she is using her status to keep ghosts away, Tucker said. Doesn't mean I'm going to take average of her. Princess or not, Bao is a person. And I love her for that. Danny said. Bao smiles and kisses his cheek. Thank you, Danny. I love you too. She said. Sam took a deep breath. She was trying, but it was still hard. But she knew Danny was happy and that all that matters. The four continue their Halloween and enjoying their night, expect Tucker. Days passed since Halloween. Paulina Sanchez was still fumbling over what happened on Halloween. She couldn't believe that her soul mate, dannyphantom, picked a ghost princess over her. I can't believe it. How could he do that? I so much better than that princess. Paulina complains for the 52nd time that day. Star sighs, she was actually glad that dannyphantom found someone to be with. But Paulina had been complaining for days about it. She wasn't the only one. All the A-listers were getting annoyed. They then turn and notices dannyphantom and Bao walk down the hall holding hands. Now there is the second big news. Many thought that Danny and Sam were going to start dating at some point, but the new girl Bunan Scarestair or Bao, as she calls herself, was now dating him. It was quite strange how a really shy girl fell for the most clumsy boy. Star sighs, she hasn't told anyone but she had a small crush on Fenton but she wasn't going to stop his happiness. Paulina looks at the two and scoffs. She couldn't believe that Fenton had a girlfriend. And to think that both of their families were into ghosts. Then Paulina smiles. She might not be able to get back at the princess, but Bao would be great. Star, come with me. She said, pulling her friend by her arm. Where are we going? Star asked. To find some pie and a camera. She said as Star sighs. Achoo. Sam sneezed as Tucker stood back. Bless you, Tucker said. Ugh. Just as the day was starting out okay. Sam groans. Are you okay, Sam? Bao asked her. I think she caught a cold again. Danny sighs. Great, I knew I should have stayed in bed, but no, my parents had to get me out and not think of how I feel. She said. Are you sure it should be a good idea for you to be here? Bao asked her. I try to tell them, but they wouldn't listen, SMA said. Might as well take you to the nurse then, Danny said. Bao was about to say something when she notices Tucker freaking out at the word nurse. Tucker. Are you okay? She asked him. Oh yeah, you don't know. Tucker is afraid of hospitals. Danny told her. Why? Bao asked. It's not something I want to talk about, Tucker said. Later, Bao heading for her locker after Danny took Sam to the nurse office. Danny notices Paulina walk around the corner and glares at Bao. He also notices that Star gave a sorry look at her before she looks at Danny. He saw her move her eyes and follow them. He spotted a camera and it was facing Bao. Hey, Bao. Let me get that for you. Danny said, running up to her locker. Thank you. Bao smiles, glad how much of gentleman he was being. Danny put in Bao's locker numbers and got ready. He opens the locker and jumps back, pulling Bao along with her. A whipped CR pie flew out and landed on the ground. It was just like with him and Dash. Danny turns back to the camera and took it down. Listen here. I don't like it when someone messes with my girlfriend. So keep your hands and pranks off her. He said in the camera. Thank you, Danny. Bao said and kissed his cheek. Sure, I mean you did the same for me, Danny said blushing. Bao nodded and Danny started to sniff. Are you okay? She asked. I'm fine. I just have something in my nose is all. Danny told her. Bao raises an eyebrow but decided to worry about it later. They had one more class to get to before they were done for the weekend. After Danny handed over the camera and told Mr. Lancer where he found it. Danny sat down and notices Star next to him. Hey, Fenton. She whispers to him. Yeah. Danny asked. I'm sorry about before. Paulina wanted to get back at Bao for what happened between her and dannyphantom. Star said. Why? Danny asked again. She is upset that Phantom chose a princess over her. Star pointed out. Danny raises an eyebrow at that. How are things going with Bao? She asked. Good so far. Our last date was us having a night picnic. Danny said, wondering why Star was asking him about his and Bao's relationship. I see. I hope you two are happy. Star said before turning away. Danny just looks at her before facing Mr. Lancer again. School let out and Bao pulls her books out of her locker. She heard that Paulina got detention from trying to prank her. After all, the pie was for the school lunch and the camera belongs to Mr. Lancer. She closes her locker and turns to see Danny walk up to her. Hey, Bao. Are you ready? He asked. I am. She said. They exit the school, hid, and turn into their ghost forms. They flew hand in hand back to her house. Danny looks at Bowsette before remembering something else. Hey, Bowsette. Do you have anything planned for Thanksgiving? He asked. Thanksgiving? She asked. Oh, yeah. It's a holiday that families get together and eat a lot of food. It started back before this land was called the USA. Danny said. Bowsette looks away, this world was surprising her each day. Want to join my family for Thanksgiving? He asked. Are you sure? She asked shyly. Yeah. It will also be a chance to show that you are more of a good ghost. Plus, we are dating. It's only fair I invited my girlfriend. Danny said. I see. I'll think about it. Bowsette said as her house came into view. They both landed when Danny sneezed. Bowsette didn't like the sound of that. She knew Sam was sick and Danny took her to the nurse, meaning he had the chance of getting sick as well. Come in, Danny. She said. Bowsette, I'm fine, it just a sneeze. Danny turns to say. I'm not taking any chances. Now turn back into your human form and come with me, mister, she said. Danny sighs and did what she told him. Bowsette lead Danny to her room and Danny was surprised on how it looks. It looks like a normal bedroom, only her bed had white blankets on them. He even spotted a picture of Bowsette's family. Before he could look at it, Bowsette had him lay down in her bed. Now please try to rest as I make you some soup. She said. Bowsette? Are you sure? I mean, all I did is sneeze. Danny asked her. I'm aware of people getting sick. Some ghosts can get sick as well. Just lay there and rest. Trust me, it better to deal with now before it gets worse. Bowsette said. Danny sighs and saw her point. Bowsette smiles and kisses his forehead. I'll call your parents to inform them about you catching a cold. She said and head downstairs. Helen watches as Bowsette calls the Halfa parents before making the soup. She couldn't believe how far the princess was going for him. They act if they did the deed, Helen said. I guess it shows that princess she willing to do what she can for her love, Michelle said. True, but the king doesn't want them together, Helen said. Forgive me, if he doesn't want them together, then why hasn't he done anything? Michelle asked. I'm wondering the same thing myself, Helen said. As far as she could tell, he wanted her to watch them. That was it. Still, the idea of King having her by his side was far too great to go against his orders. I'll admit this much, they do make a nice couple, Michelle said. Helen just pets her cat and sighs. There was no doubt about it. The princess was too attached to the Halfa. Even if she broke them up, the princess would never go for someone else. Bowsette brought the soup to Danny and could see that cold was started to show more. Danny looks really tired and was blowing his nose in a tissue she let out earlier. She set the soup down on her dresser and felt his head. Wow, you're burning up. I guess it a good thing I made you lay down, huh? She asked him. Yeah. Being sick SCK at times. Danny said as he sniffs. Well, I inform your parents about you being sick and they hope you felt better. And since it's the weekend, I have lots of time to play nurse with you. She said. Please, tell me that you don't have a nurse outfit, Danny said, making her laugh. No, I don't. But I'm no longer Princess Bowsette. I'm Nurse Bowsette now. She said, smiling. Don't say that to Tucker, Danny told her. I'm sure I'm one nurse he wouldn't be scared of, Bowsette said. As long as he keeps his hands to him, say Choo. Danny sneeze. Bowsette carefully picks up the soup and feed him some. She couldn't help but to feel like she really was a wife. She decided to ask him the question that she'd been keeping to herself. Hey, Danny. Can I ask you something? She asked. Sure. Danny said. I know it really early to ask this, but what do you think our kids would look like? She said, blushing. Well, if we had a daughter, I'll say she'd be as pretty as you, Danny said and sniffs. What about a son? Bowsette asked, still blushing. Maybe he looks like me. Or you. Can't really say. Danny said before looking at her. Why do ask? You want a family someday? He asked her. Yes, but not now. You're sick and my hormones had died down since you let me act out on them. She said. Okay, Danny said before he yawns. Bowsette places the soup down and tucks Danny in. Get some sleep. I check up on you in an hour. She said. But what about the ghosts? Danny asked. I'll deal with them. Amity Park is my home now. Even if I'm crown queen, I will continue to live here. She said before kissing his forehead. As much as Danny wanted to, he knew he was sick and she wouldn't let him go. Danny sighs and closes his eyes. Bowsette left her room and shuts the door. She then started to breathe heavily. No, I'm not going to do that. She said to herself. While most of her hormones did die down, there was one that was still strong. She promises herself she won't do the deed until Danny was ready. Seeing him in her bed was taking all of her willpower not to get in with him. Plus he was sick. She wouldn't do that. She walks downstairs and sat down. Boopup walks up and looks at her. I can wait. We have only been on 2 dates. She said. Bowsette hears her phone rings and answers it. Hello. She said. Hello, princess. Helen. She shouted. What's wrong? Are you glad to hear from me? Helen asked. What do you want? Bowsette said angrily. Nothing, your father just wanted me to check on you. He has been worried about you. Helen said. Bowsette didn't believe her. She knew what Helen was after. If you think I'm just going to head home, then you are out of luck. I found a mate and we are together. She said. Oh, I know. The Halfa. Tell me, princess. When do you plan on doing the deed with him? Helen asked. Bowsette's eyes widen. She knew. She knew that she and Danny never did the deed. And since Helen keeps trying to get close to her father, then he knew as well. Oh, that's right. You're taking your time. Well, that's fine. Take all the time you need. Helen spoke up. You listen to me. You are to leave me and Danny alone. I know my father had ordered you to not harm me in any way. And if you so much hurt Danny, then you're going to learn why you shouldn't get on a bad side. She yelled. Even so, your father is planning to visit you soon. I hope you're ready to see him again. Helen said before she hangs up. Bowsette was worried. If her father was coming, then both she and Danny were in big trouble. She didn't know what her father would do, but she knew it was never good. She took a breath and clams down. She can worry about her father later. She has a sick boyfriend and she needs to take care of him. She walks over to the couch and sat down. She knew that her father coming was going to be on her mind for the rest of the week. The day passed and Danny was still sick. Bowsette did all she could to help Danny feel better. She made him soup, checked his temp, and made sure he was resting. However, the idea of her father coming still haunted her. She kept pushing it to the back of her mind and focus on taking care of Danny. She watches the news a few times to keep an eye out of any ghosts, but things have been quiet lately. She also calls Danny's parents to let them know he was still sick. She sat down and took a breath. Come on, Bowsette. You're not that of ghost. He's sick and that's just wrong. She thought. Bowsette would always hold her breath every time she enters her room, knowing Danny was in her bed. She would release it when she left her room. It was getting bad, really bad. Not enough to ask him to do the deed, but she wants to sleep together with him. Plus he was sick. She looks at the clock and decides maybe some time in town would help her. She couldn't leave Danny alone, however, so she walks over to her phone and calls Jazz. Hello. Hi, Jazz. It's Bowsette, or Bow, you might know me as. Listen, do you think you can come over and watch Danny for me? I want to head into town for a bit. Bowsette told her. Sure, I have been worried about him since you told us he was sick. Jazz said on the other end. Thanks, Bowsette said and told Jazz where she lives. After that, she heads upstairs and took a breath before entering her room to see Danny blowing his nose and look up to see Bowsette. Hey. He sniffs. Hi, Danny. She said back and sat down in a chair. What's up? Danny asked her. Danny, I want to head to town day, but I don't want to leave you alone. I just call your sister and she coming over to take care of you until I come back. Bowsette told him. But I want you to take care of me, Danny said. Bowsette blushed and took a breath. Believe me, I like helping you get better, but I need some time to myself. So please, let your sister take care of you while I'm gone. She told him. Danny tries pushing himself out of the bed and almost fell over. Bowsette quickly caught him and Danny started to snuggle against her. Danny. Bowsette shudder as she blushes. I want to be with you. I want you to stay. Danny said. Bowsette couldn't believe what she was hearing. Danny wanted to stay with her. She shook her head. She heard that sometimes a sick person says things and will have no clue what they said when they recover. She carefully laid Danny back down and covers him with her blanket. Danny, you're sick. I want you to get better. Please just lay here and behave. I'm only going to be gone for an hour or two. She said. Danny looks as if he wanted to say something but suddenly looked really tired. She kisses his forehead and went downstairs to wait for Jazz. Meanwhile in Amity Park. Sam sighs as had recovered from her sickness yesterday but end up passing it to Danny. She heard that Bowsette was taking care of him and she sighs. She was trying, she really was. But she couldn't let go. There'd been a few times she thought about making Danny and Bowsette break up but thought on how Danny would feel if he found that she did it. She already almost broke his trust after trying to catch Bowsette and she knew he was clueless about her liking him more than a friend. Sam. Are you there? Tucker's voice spoke up. Huh? What? Sam said before remembering that she and Tucker were at his house. Sorry, Tucker. I was worried about Danny. Jazz told us he was still sick. Sam said. Well, he's got Bow to watch over him, Tucker told her and type on his computer. Sam sighs, trying not to let her jealously overtake her again. Tucker sighs and sat back groaning. I look everywhere. There is nothing about the dark moon that Vlad wants to know. I kept getting lead to the dark side of the moon, which is more of Danny's thing. He said. And Bow not much help. She told us she barely knows anything about it. Sam added. Ever since they saved Bowsette and discover what Vlad was after, they wanted to find it in means to keep it away from him. After all, Vlad has found powerful things and they did cause them some trouble. You know. Without the ghost attacks, things had almost turned back to normal. Tucker said. Yeah, I almost forgot what it was like without hunting ghosts. Sam agrees. Bowsette was keeping her word. There'd been fewer ghost attacks because many ghosts didn't dare go against Bowsette. There was an attack here or there but nothing big like before. So, since we can't find anything about the dark moon, want to hang out? Tucker asked. Sam blinks and sighs. Sure, maybe we could get something to help Danny feel better. Sam asked him. I was thinking the same thing, Tucker said. Bowsette flew over town and head to the mall. She hid and turns to her human form and walk in. She spends the next 30 minutes shopping in different stores, finding what she needed. She mostly got medicine to help Danny recover from his sickness and did find something that she thought Danny would like. After shopping, she decides to get some food. She knew she didn't really need to eat but she was just so used to it. She sat down at a table before noticing two people heading her way. Well, look at here. It's Fantonail girlfriend. Dash Laugh had once again gotten over her scare. Leave me alone back Snail. Bow told him. Dash blinks, surprised that Bow would do something like that. Speaking of which. Where is the freak? Paulina asked. He's still sick. He's resting at my house. I have his sister watching him for me. Bow said. Well, looks like he more than a wimp than I thought. Dash laughs. Or so being sick make you a wimp. Maybe I should have him sneeze all over you so you can be a wimp too. Bow told him. Dash looks surprised and Paulina rolls her eyes. Whatever, I hope you and Fenton have the unluckiest day, Paulina said. Bow just shook her head, she knew it would be a matter of time before they learn the truth. Okay then. Both of our luck is better than yours. Bow said as she got up and walked away. What? Paulina shouted. Bow exit the mall and check her phone. She saw a few texts from Jazz letting her know that Danny has been behaving with her, though he'd been asking for Bowsette every 5 minutes. She shook her head and hid away again and turned back to her real form. She flew all the way back to her house, not knowing there were few ghosts following her. Bowsette reaches her house and opens the door to see Jazz sitting at her table reading a book as Boopup was sitting on her lap. Hi, Jazz. How is he? She said. Hey, Bowsette. He's sleeping right now. Did you get the medicine? Jazz said then asked. Yep, and I got something else that Danny might like, Bowsette said and showed her. Jazz couldn't help but giggle. Oh yeah, he will love it. Jazz smiles. Bowsette smiles before remembering something else. Hey Jazz, I know it's early but would you like to be one of my bridesmaids? She asked her. Jazz looks surprised but smiles. Sure, you are a great girlfriend for Danny. I can tell you two will make a great husband and wife someday. Jazz said. Thanks. Bowsette shuddered. Jazz left afterward and Bowsette head upstairs to check on Danny. She enters her room and blush. Danny was still in bed, but his shirt and pants were on the floor. She didn't see any of his underwear and hoped he was still wearing them. She walks up and felt his forehead. He really was burning up. Jazz did her best and now it was time for Bowsette to help. She rushes to her bathroom and grabs a wet towel that Jazz set up earlier that rushes back to Danny. She places it on Danny's head and went downstairs and grabs the medicine that he needed. She rushes back upstairs and set the medicine up. Danny? Danny? It's me, I'm back. Bowsette said carefully shaking him awake. Bowsette? Danny asked waking up. Listen, I got some medicine for you. I made sure to check how each one works and I want you to take them. She said grabbing the medicine that would help clear up his nose. Danny took the medicine and rest again. Bowsette looks at his clothes and notices they were all wet from his sweat. That means her bed was wet too. She picks them up and threw them in her washer downstairs. She headed back up and sat down in the chair. Danny felt asleep again and she was trying very hard not to do anything. Come on Bowsette, you're just watching over him. Ignore what you want to do and focus on you should be doing. She thought to herself. Bowsette. Bowsette turns and saw Danny was still sleeping, but she heard her name. Bowsette, I love you. I want to be with you. Danny said, sleep talking. Bowsette blushed and turns away. He was sick. He was saying those things in his sleep. Bowsette, let's get married. Let's have a happy life. Danny said again, making her face turn red. Bowsette, I don't care about that anymore. Let's just do it. Danny said. Bowsette was really having a hard time keeping herself together. She knew Danny was sleep talking and he had no idea what he was saying. Still, those words, could they really what Danny wanted? Bowsette shook her head. She promises to wait, and that is what she going to do. Outside, some ghosts watched the princess care for her mate and heard the words coming out of his mouth. They could see that the princess wasn't letting them get to her. She really does care for him. One ghost said. Still those words, another said. Now don't you worry, dears, remember he a good person. He is sick. A third said. The others look at the two and smiles. Ever since she got out of the castle, they have been worried about her. It took them a while to get out and find her. With a nod, they flew down to the door and knock. Bowsette blinks and heads downstairs and opens her door. She was shocked to see some of the castle staff she was friends with at her door. Hello, princess, Shambria said, smiling. What are you all doing here? Bowsette asked them. Well, you have been gone so long we got worried, Stuart said. Bowsette snaps out of and hugs each one of them. I'm so happy to see you again, she said. As we are, Marty said. So princess, how is life in the human realm? Chef Soulful asks. Better than I thought. I'm glad you're here, Chef Soulful. I'm trying to take up cooking for myself and I could use some help from a chief like you, Bowsette said. Chef Soulful looks surprised but smiles. Of course, I'll be glad to teach you. I'll make you a fine chief, he said, laughing. So what is your mate? Is he doing okay? Need our magic to help him feel better? Nikki, Lindsay, and Ginny asked her, making her laugh. No, it's fine. I want to take care of him myself. Bowsette smiles. Well, if you even need someone to watch over you, I'll keep an eye out for anything, Cruller said before getting ready for anything, making Bowsette laugh. Thank you, Cruller. I felt safe already. She smiles. The others roll their eyes. They still wonder how he got a place in the castle in the first place. You know, princess, if you wish I can plant some of your favorite flowers around here to make this place a little more living, Dr. Potter said. I would like that very much. And don't forget the roses. Bowsette smiles. Oh, yes. Your mother. We hope the queen is doing all right. DJ Phantasmagloria said. I know she's all right. I meet the Phantom Rebels, she said. The group turns to her and smiles. They knew what that meant. Well, now that we are out of the castle, we are going to join them as well, Shambria said. Yes, we know everything the king is planning, Stuart added. Morty. What are you doing? Bowsette asked the movie director. Just picture my next big movie. I can see it now, the story of a ghost princess falling for a human boy. It will be a love story for ages. Morty said, placing his fingers together as he looks around the house. Danny is a halfa, you know, Bowsette said. Wait. Danny? As in Danny Phantom? Nikki, Lindsay, and Ginny asked. Yes, but please come in. He's sleeping right now, so please be quiet, Bowsette said as the staff head in. Cruller got stuck for a bit, but the others were able to get him through. Bowsette giggles and reminds him that he could have phased through the door. Once inside, Bowsette shows them the living room, dining room, and kitchen. Because Danny was sleeping upstairs, she asks them to stay out of the upstairs for now. Bowsette checks the time and notices it was time to bring the soup up again. She informs Chef Soulful she knew how to, and because Danny is sick, she didn't want to add anything that could make it worse. She took a bowl and looked back at her staff, no her friends. She wasn't a princess to them. Each of them was her friend. She turns and almost laughs at Cruller jumping when Boopup pops up from nowhere, making Nikki, Lindsay, and Ginny laugh and play with the ghost dog. The place was a little crowded, but it was filled with people she knew and trust. The rest of the week passed and Danny felt better. For some time Bowsette threw herself on him whenever her house. She claims that she missed the close contact with him but was very happy to be a nurse for him and that he was feeling much better. They enter their last class for the day and Bow gave a quick hug before taking her seat. Danny took his set as Mr. Lancer shook his head. "Alright class, as some of you know, Thanksgiving break is coming up and some of you are looking forward to spending time with your families," he said, seeing the class cheer. Bow couldn't wait for it. She was going to spend her first Thanksgiving with Danny and his family. "However, that doesn't mean you can SCK off. I'm going to assign you each a book report," he added, hearing the cheers turn into groans. "Come on, really? It's Thanksgiving." Tucker whined. "I'm with Foley on this one." Dash agrees. "Relax, I'll make it easy for you all. You will each pair up and cover one book. Now let's see," Mr. Lancer said. Bow blinks as looks at Danny, who had also grown. Danny knew Mr. Lancer always this. Every time the holidays rolls around he put homework on them. As if he doesn't want them to enjoy it. "Quan and Sam, you'll be covering Moby pages. And no arguments, Ms. Mansion," Mr. Lancer said. Sam groaned in not only having to work with Quan, a guy that was a little too cheerful, but also read about a man hunting a whale. "Next, Paulina and Dash, you'll be covering To Kill a Mockingbird. And be warned, if you two failed this your parents won't be happy," Mr. Lancer said. "Next, Mickey and Tucker, you'll be covering The Old Man and the Sea. And I want the report on paper," he said. He went down the list a bit and Bow looks at Danny. She knew that Mr. Lancer was a bit HRD on his classes, but he does seem to care. Danny looks at her and gave a smile. "And finally, Daniel and Bunnan, you'll be covering The Inferno. And I hope to see a higher grade than AC Mr. Fenton," Mr. Lancer said. Mr. Lancer?" Bow said, raising her hand. "Yes," he answers. "You can just call me Bow," she told him, not really liking the name she came up with. "Very well," he said before facing the chalkboard. "Ugh. I should have really come up with a better name than Bunnan Scarestare." Bow groans. A few hours pass and school ended for the Thanksgiving break. Danny and Bow steps as Tucker and Sam race up to them. "So, what do you guys plan on doing?" "Heading to Bow's house and enjoy the Thanksgiving turkey, if you know what I mean," Tucker asked. "Tucker!" Danny and Sam shouted as Bow blush. Tucker just laughs at that. I'm kidding. But boy, you should have seen the looks on your faces," he said. Danny looks at Bow, who was looking at the ground. He knew that Bow's hormones weren't fully cured, as the most powerful ones was something she didn't want to do until he's ready. "Bow, don't worry about it. Tucker has an odd sense of humor," Danny said. "So said the pun MSTR," Tucker countered. "Please, Tucker. Danny's puns might be bad, but they are way better than your jokes," Sam said. "Hey!" Tucker shouted. Danny shook his head and looks at Bow. Bow took a breath and looks back up. "Well, let's head to the library. The sooner we get our report done, the sooner we can enjoy our Thanksgiving," she said, trying not to think about her father. "Sure," Danny said. After getting their partners, they head to the library and started to study. Sam was having enough of Quan and got up to move away from him a bit. She started to look through the books before a title caught her eye. Legends of the Dark Moon. Sam pull out the book and start to read it. She was shocked on what she found and wanted to tell the others, but Mickey and Quan were there. So she had to hold off on it. She returns to the table and sat back down. It was a few hours later that Danny took Bowsette back home so she could get ready for Thanksgiving with his family. He stood in her living room and started to think about his girlfriend. At first, she just wanted to know him and be his friend. But now she became his girlfriend and cared for him very much, even when he was sick. She might be the future ruler of Ghost Zone, but she wanted to be seen as a normal girl. Danny didn't love her because she was a princess, he loves her because she was a person. True, her people's way of marrying was strange, but Bowsette had her reasons and was willing to wait until both he and she was ready. Okay. I'm ready. Danny turns and saw Bowsette looking a bit shy. She was wearing a white shirt and blue jeans. She was in ghost form, but the clothes made it look like she was never a princess. Wow. Bowsette, you look nice. Danny said, hoping he didn't say the wrong thing. Thanks, I picked these out after our second date. She said. Danny nods before they fly towards Danny's house. Once they land, and the coast was clear, Danny turns back to his human form and they head inside. They got to the living room before they head. Jazz shout. Can you please stop, bring the Tucky back to life? Danny facepalm as Bowsette looks confused. Mom and Dad have a habit of cooking with ectoplasm. He told her. Bowsette shook her head and followed Danny inside the kitchen and saw the Thanksgiving turkey running around holding a fork and a knife. Knowing that his parents didn't know about his powers, Bowsette fire an ectoblast at the turkey, knocking it away and into the wall that knocks it out. Mr. and Mrs. Fentons. Bowsette shouted, getting the Fentons to turn to her. Bowsette. Welcome to our home. Jack said, but flinched back as Bowsette gave them a glare. For the so-called ghost experts, you really don't look into the dangers that well. Ectoplasm is not something you should mess with. Let alone try cooking with it. She yelled at them. Jack was about to open his mouth, but Bowsette stops him. Ectoplasm is our lifeblood. It what makes us alive, in a sense. So if you don't know what the dangers are, stop messing with it. Bowsette shouted. Both Jack and Maddie gulps and nods. Bowsette took a breath and walked over to the turkey. She reaches into it and pulls out the ghost that was formed. It hisses and growls, but Bowsette turns around and walks down the stairs and towards the lab. She opens the portal and threw it in before closing it and faced the Fentons. Before you ask, no, Danny didn't tell me about the portal. It is well known in the Ghost Zone because some people are stupid enough to leave it open. She told them. Bowsette sighs before walking back upstairs and picks up their phone. In a few minutes, the call was made and a new turkey arrives. Bowsette prepared the turkey and they all sat down at the table. This is not how I expect to spend Thanksgiving with you, Danny said sheepishly. I wasn't expecting your parents to overlook the dangers of our lifeblood. She said back. Everyone got their food and started to eat. They were really shocked on how well the turkey tasted. Wow, your cooking came a long way. Danny told her. Thanks. I actually got some more lessons to help with it. Bowsette told him. She was very thankful that the staff that trust her to help her with her normal life. After eating, Danny and Bowsette headed upstairs to check over their book report. In truth, they head to the roof for alone time and look at the stars. No matter how many times I see it, the night sky never gets old, Danny said smiling. Bowsette snuggles closer to him and Danny blinks. He smiles and places an arm around her. Bowsette smiles as looks into the night sky. Being with Danny was the best thing that could happen to her. Hey Bow. Danny said, calling her by her human name. Yeah. She answers. Are you okay? For the past few days, you've been worried and on a lookout for something. You know you can tell me anything, right? He said. Bowsette looks away. She wanted to tell him, she really did, but she couldn't bring herself to do so. I'm fine, it's just I'm still getting used to this town. I have been in my castle for most of my afterlife. She said. Danny could tell there was more to it, but he decides not to push it. Alright, just remember, I'm here for you. He said. Bowsette smiles and kisses him. Thank you. She said. Bowsette returns home later and runs a bath. She stood next to the tub with a towel around her and thought back to Danny's words. I'm here for you. Oh Danny, I really want to tell you my father might come. But I don't want to make you worry. She thought. After her bath, she slips in her PJs. And lay down in bed. She did wash them but she could smell Danny on them. It always helps her sleep. She did admit that it was a bit strange but couldn't help herself. She closes her eyes and started to dream. Bowsette's dream. Bowsette and Danny both saw their kids running around and playing with Boopup. She turns to her husband and smiles. Think they will be happy to have a little brother or sister? She asked him. Well, being a father all over again makes me happy. Danny smiles. They two of them lay down and look at the night sky. Bowsette snuggles close to him and close her eyes and listen to his heartbeat, only to not hear it. She opens her eyes to find that Danny was gone and so was her kids. Danny? Kids? She calls out before seeing a wisp appear out of her mouth and hears a very evil laugh. Hello, my daughter. Bowsette turns around and saw her father holding 3 frames with Danny and her kids trapped in them. It's a real shame. But don't worry, you'll be joining them soon. He said holding up an empty frame. Bowsette just turns and ran. She could hear her father laugh and chase her. She ran and ran but it looks as if nothing was the same. She soon stops at a cliff and saw nothing but darkness below her. She turns back to see her father closing in and knew she had the choice to jump or be trapped in a frame. She turns and jumps feeling herself fall. It felt like she was falling and her powers won't work. She soon sees the face of her father laugh and closing in on her. End dream. No. Bowsette shouted as she sat up. She started to breathe and breath heavily before tears started to drop from her eyes. She heard a whine and looks up to see Boopup looking worried about her. She hugs the ghost dog before walking over to her phone and calls Danny's cell. Hello. Just hearing his voice made her break down again. Bowsette? What's wrong? Danny's voice asked. I need you. She whispers before dropping the phone and sob. Danny reaches Bowsette's house and helps the ghost princess calm down and told him about Helen's call, the possibility of her father coming, and her nightmare. Danny sat next to her listening to everything. She was trying not to make Danny worry but the nightmare was her breaking point. She was scared of losing him and her father's ways. He hugs her and lets her wrap herself around him if her life depends on it. It's okay, I'm here. He said feeling bad for not guess there was something wrong. He pulls away and wipes the tears from her face. Bowsette, I won't let anything happen to you. That's a promise. He told her. Can you stay here? I don't want to be alone. She asked him. Danny knew she had a nightmare and it was a wise idea to have someone close by. He was the same with Jazz when they were younger. Sure, let me leave a text for Jazz so she won't worry when she wakes up, Danny said. Bowsette nods and Danny sends the text. He then got her some warm milk saying that it would help her calm down. She knew she was a ghost and didn't need it, but took it anyway. After that Danny lead her to her room and help her lay down. Danny kissed her forehead and was about to leave when she grabs his hand. Please, stay here. She said, worried that he might not come back if he leaves. Danny blinks and could see the fear in her eyes. This nightmare wasn't something she was going to get over any time soon. All right. He said and lay down next to her. Bowsette wraps herself around him and closes her eyes. Danny looks at the princess and smiles. Everything will be fine, I promise. Danny thought before closing his eyes. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 4. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and Phantom Fan 21 on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.